Welcome to Book Bites from the Pizza Prosperous Life PPL channel. In this deep dive, we're wrapping up our three-part series on Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's really a powerful book about how small changes, when you do them consistently, can lead to massive transformation. We hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, it's been quite a journey, hasn't it? We've covered a lot from, how our environment shapes us.
Right, and making habits attractive and easy.
Exactly. And now for this last part, we're really digging into let's say, the advanced stuff, moving beyond just forming habits to really elevating performance.
Taking it from good to great, essentially.
Precisely. This is where you see the long-term power, the real transformation potential of these tiny habits.
Okay, so let's unpack this first big idea then. It's about choosing your game. Clear says success isn't only about grinding it out, right?
Right. It's also about being strategic, finding a field, a game where your natural inclinations, your abilities actually give you an advantage. You want the odds in your favor.
Okay, but that sounds a bit like just playing to your strengths, which, we hear a lot. How is this different? Is there more to it?
It's a subtle but important distinction. It's about finding where your specific traits give you a disproportionate return on your effort, so your hard work goes much, much further. Think about Michael Phelps, the swimmer. His body type, short legs, long torso, is almost perfectly designed for swimming.
Yeah, incredible athlete.
Now compare him to, say, Hicham El Guerrouj, the runner. Long legs, shorter torso. Also incredible.
Right, completely different builds.
Exactly. Now imagine them swapping sports. Even with all their athleticism, it would be, well, almost absurd, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I can see that. Phelps running long distance, El Guerrouj in the pool. Probably wouldn't work so well.
It highlights how crucial that alignment is. Genes don't dictate destiny, but they predispose us. They suggest where we might naturally thrive with a bit less friction.
So it's not fighting biology, it's working with it. And the book mentions personality too, like the big five traits, conscientiousness, agreeableness, those sorts of things.
Absolutely. Our inherent personalities, partly shaped by genes, influence which habits feel easier or harder. Someone naturally less conscientious, for instance, might need to lean much more heavily on designing their environment.
Okay, so they need more external structure.
Whereas someone highly conscientious might find sticking to routines more, well, natural. It's about understanding your specific inclinations and setting up systems that work for you, not against you.
So how do you actually find that game, that advantage? Clear talks about exploring versus exploiting, right?
Yes, that's the practical strategy. First, you explore. You try lots of different things. Cast a wide net.
Okay, so experiment a bit.
Ask yourself, what feels fun to me but looks like work to others? What makes me lose track of time, that flow state?
Where time just disappears, yeah.
Where do I seem to get better results than average? What comes easily? These are clues.
And once you find something that clicks,
then you shift gears. You exploit it. Focus, say, 80 or 90% of your energy there, really doubling down.
but not completely abandoning exploration.
Crucially, no. You keep that other 10-20% for continued exploration. Trying new angles, adapting. Google's 80-20 time is a great example of this in practice.
Right. Keeps things fresh, prevents stagnation.
Exactly. So genes clarify what to work hard on. They make the hard work more effective, more satisfying.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Choose your game wisely. But then comes the challenge of sticking with it day in, day out, especially when things get, boring.
Yes, the motivation piece. And that's where the Goldilocks rule comes in. It's a really key concept for staying engaged long-term.
The Goldilocks rule. Like the porridge, right? Not too hot, not too cold.
Exactly. Applied to tasks. We stay most motivated when we're working on things of just manageable difficulty. Not so easy, you get bored. Not so hard, you get discouraged and give up.
There's a sweet spot.
Research suggests it's around 4% beyond your current ability. Just enough stretch to keep it interesting, but not overwhelming.
The book uses Steve Martin, the comedian, as an example, right?
Yeah.
His long journey.
A perfect illustration. It took him 18 years. 10 years learning, 4 refining, 4 being a huge success. He was constantly adding just a little bit more, slightly expanding his routine, mixing new stuff with jokes he knew worked.
So he was always operating right at that edge.
Pretty much. Enough success to stay motivated, enough challenge to keep working hard. It's that balance. But it also brings up the biggest villain in self-improvement.
Let me guess. Boredom.
You got it. Mastery requires repetition, a lot of repetition. And repetition, almost inevitably, gets boring.
Yeah. That's where so many good intentions die.
It's often the difference between pros and amateurs, isn't it? Professionals show up, they stick to the schedule even when they don't feel like it, even when it's tedious. Amateurs let boredom derail them.
So you have to fall in love with boredom. That sounds tough.
Maybe not love it, but you have to accept it, tolerate it, find fascination in the nuances of doing the same thing over and over. That's where the real gains happen, the true refinement.
Hmm. What about things like, slot machines or social media feeds? They use variable rewards to keep you hooked, right? Unpredictable payoffs. Does that help with habits?
That's a really interesting point. Those variable rewards definitely spike dopamine and can accelerate habit formation, keeping things novel and engaging, preventing boredom initially.
So could we make our good habits more like that?
Well, some things lend themselves to it more than others, but clear cautions that not all good habits can or even should rely on that kind of unpredictable novelty. For long-term mastery, especially in skill development, consistency, even through boredom, is more reliable than constantly seeking novelty.
Okay, so the takeaway is find that just right challenge and then learn to embrace the necessary repetition even when it's not exciting.
That's the core of it for sustained motivation and progress.
Right, so you've picked your game, you're managing the challenge level, you're even handling the boredom.
Yeah.
What's left? Because the book points out a kind of paradox with good habits, doesn't it?
Yes, this is a really insightful part. Habits are great because they automate behavior, make things efficient, free up mental energy.
That's the upside.
But the downside is that same automation can lead to mindlessness. We stop paying close attention, we become less sensitive to feedback, we let small errors slide, we operate on autopilot.
And settle for good enough instead of continuing to improve, complacency creeps in.
Exactly. The very efficiency that makes habits useful can prevent us from reaching the next level, from achieving true mastery.
So what's the solution? How do we keep the benefits of automation without falling into that trap?
The key is reflection and review. Building in moments to consciously check in on your performance, to analyze what's working and what's not.
Like stepping back and looking at the process deliberately.
Yes. Without that conscious review, we risk just going through the motions, maybe even making excuses or rationalizing subpar performance without realizing it.
Pat Riley and the Lakers' career best effort program comes to mind here. That seemed like a very structured way to do this.
A fantastic example. He didn't just ask for vague improvement. He had players track specific metrics and aim for just a 1% improvement each season compared to their own past performance and rivals.
Wow, 1%. Seems small, but adds up.
Hugely. And it wasn't just stats. It was about spiritual and mental aspects, too.
Yeah.
That constant, structured reflection drove incredible team-wide improvement and, well, championships.
So how can we apply that individually? Does Clear suggest specific practices?
He does. Two simple but powerful ones are the annual review, asking yourself what went well, what didn't, and what you learned over the past year.
Okay, like a personal performance review.
And the integrity report, checking if your recent actions actually align with your core values. Are you living the way you intend to?
That keeps you honest.
The idea isn't constant navel-gazing, but periodic check-ins, maybe monthly or quarterly. Enough to stay conscious and make adjustments, but not so much that it becomes obsessive.
And there's another danger mentioned tied to success, identity stagnation. What's that about?
Yeah, that's a big one. When we achieve some success, we can start to cling too tightly to the identity associated with that success. I am a great teacher. I am a top manager. I am a skilled surgeon.
Which sounds good, but
But that pride, that fixed identity, can make us resistant to change, to new ideas, to further growth. We defend the identity instead of evolving. We stop learning because we think we are the finished product.
so you get stuck in your ways because your identity is tied to those ways.
Precisely. The solution Clear offers is to keep your identity small. Don't let any single role or belief define your entire sense of self.
Like being more flexible about who you are.
Exactly. Define yourself by your actions and your values, perhaps, rather than a fixed title or achievement. It allows you to adapt, learn, and grow without feeling like you're losing yourself.
That's a powerful reframe. Okay, so bringing it all together then, what's the final equation for mastery according to Clear?
It boils down to this: habits plus deliberate practice, mastery.
Simple but profound.
Habits automate the basics, they provide the foundation, but deliberate practice, that conscious reflection, analysis, and focused effort on improving specific aspects, that's what builds on the foundation to create true excellence.
So you need both the consistency of habits and the conscious refinement of practice.
You really do. It's about being intentional about your automated behaviors.
Well, that wraps up our deep dive into James Clear's Atomic Habits. What an incredible journey, really underscoring how tiny changes done consistently over time truly can lead to massive transformation.
It really covers so much ground from, understanding our environment, making habits work for us.
Irresistible, easy.
Right. And then these advanced strategies we talked about today, continuous improvement, avoiding getting stuck. It really shows that habits aren't just about ticking boxes or being productive.
No, it's deeper than that. It's about shaping who you become.
Exactly. Becoming the kind of person you want to be.
We really hope this three-part series has given you some inspiration, maybe sparked some ideas for reflecting on your own habits, and encouraged you on your own path of growth, purpose, and prosperity. Thank you so much for joining us on Book Bites from the Pizza Prosperous Life channel. Please do subscribe or follow us for more book summaries aimed at inspiring and empowering you.